You see these kicks? These kicks were dirty. They were beat up. I couldn't wear them. But I got in contact with Lara Murchi at 537 Shawmut Ave, the fashion center, and he brought these beauties back to life. Get in touch with him if you need your kicks clean, your furniture done, your purses done. It ain't called the fashion center for no reason. At 537 Shawmut Ave in historic South Boston. Just tell him your boy said ya. Peace. What is going on, my good people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say That Podcast, where I'm always yelling, don't say this, say that. I want to thank everybody for tuning into my last episode with my guy Gizzy Honcho, a Talk of the Town. If you haven't already seen it, please go watch it. It's on my YouTube page, as well as on Spotify and Apple page as well. And as always, please follow myself on Instagram, REPETE617, and the podcast's Instagram, say_that_pod. And of course, I'm going to ask you to do, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps grow the channel, so I know y'all got me. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a first on the platform because I'd never have had somebody who is the founder of his own record label, somebody who took that extra step and went above and beyond to really push himself, push others, and push his music forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm say that welcome to my guy Try in the building. What's going on, my man?
I'm good, bro. How are you, man?
How about you?
I'm pretty, doing as good as I can, just, hanging in there.
Doing what we can,
Doing what we can, brother,
Start of a new year, you know what I'm saying? New journeys ahead.
Yeah, man. It's going to be,
That's why I love the new year, what I'm saying?
It's going to be one of them years.
Everything's new.
Exactly. It's a brand new day. It's going to be one of them years for sure.
Absolutely. I love to hear it. So like I said, you are the founder of TRIY Records.
Yes, sir.
And for the people who do not know what TRIY means or if it's an acronym for something, would you mind explaining to them right now?
Yeah. So TRIY means Talent Resides In You. So this label was actually created back in high school.
Wow.
This is like 2007.
Oh, so we're going back.
Showing my age, bro. That's crazy to think about because it's 2025 now, so that's scary.
18 years already.
18, wow. Jesus Christ. So
I didn't mean to make you feel insecure a little.
No, it's
you know
okay.
what I mean?
It's okay. It's all right. I mean, come on.
I kind of feel that way right now. I'm 27, you know what I'm saying?
You good, bro. You good. You good.
Thank you.
You good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
You straight. Nah, so pretty much what ended up happening, like I had a collective of friends that was all doing music in high school. We went to arts high school, so I just went up to my friend and he was like, yo, we should start something. You know how, crews start in school and stuff like that. It's like, yo, we should start like a record label. We went home, tried to figure out some names for the label. I came up with some corny shit. He came up with some fly shit, and it was called TRIY Records. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, where'd you come up with that? Like, that's like, what? And so that's how it all began. And that's how we ran with it. But, obviously, throughout the years and stuff, shit happens and stuff, whatever. So I actually just rebranded it, came out with a new logo back in 2022.
I like that.
And so it's myself, Tailored, and Bia Harvey as the artist, but we do have Official Dudley that runs behind the scenes stuff. We got Raina, who does a lot of the marketing and the social media stuff like that. So we're just a team, and we're, continue to grow and, doing different things. We're looking for some more artists, but we definitely want to get ourselves kind of up and running too as well. So, but we are talking to a couple of other artists out there about different things, because we don't want to just be just a record label as well. We want to also manage as well. So we want to tap into all type of things as for a whole record label as a collective. So that's what we're doing right now. So yeah.
So that's what's up, because I feel like when people look at a record label like that, they just see the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't see the behind the scenes work that actually has to be put in to push that record label forward. Yeah. So it's dope you explained that. And I also got a shout out to Bia Javier, because I've been following her journey for a couple of years now.
Yeah, we got to get her up here sometime.
Of course, that you've linked up with her, so that's awesome. But I do want to ask you, as you run a record label, if I'm an artist and I want to be signed by you or come up to you, be a part of it, what qualifications or like talents are you looking for in that type of sense?
To be honest, I'm really looking for artists who really want this. You know what I mean? Like who really treasure the artistry in it, and who really wants to make moves. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who love to make music and do this, but I don't do this just for fun. You feel me? Like this is not like just a hobby for me. This is something that I've done since I was 4 years old. Yeah. All I know is music. You know what I'm saying? So you need to come with that same energy. Like you might make dope music, you might have a dope following, you might have a lot of Instagram followers, but like, do you really want to grind for this? Do you really want to put in the work? Because it's not easy. And one thing I realized too, it's not even easy being consistent.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
absolutely
it's hard being consistent, bro. Like
Right.
it's a hard thing. So I've seen plenty of artists since I've started and ran to the top and they just stop. You know what I'm saying? And I know why they stop. I get it. I understand. But even those kind of artists I look at, I'm like, damn, I was fucking with you. And then I thought you was like on my level as far as like where we're going and you just stopped. So you was never
Respectfully,
really that,
yeah.
yeah, respectfully, you was
Yeah.
never really that serious. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I just want to like, first I want to get to know you as a person. And then kind of go from there and kind of understand what you need and what you're looking for. Cause like, obviously we don't have everything, you know what I mean? So we're still a startup record label, but we are building and we are doing the things necessary and try to get your business right and business in order, like the music side of things. We can help with that. So that's something that I'm looking for as far as artists goes. And we cater a lot to R&B. That's one of the things that we do cater to. But we also have producers. We have a whole bunch of different things. We have videographers that we actually not in-house, but that we go to all the time. I have producers that are on tour with her, Tiana Taylor. There's a whole bunch of writers that I know. My main producer produced last year for La Russell.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
He did a record
Because he was
for,
just in Boston not too long ago.
Yeah,
for the,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Mass
he-
Music Summit.
Yep. He produced for the Russell, a ton of other people. 2 Chainz, he did a record with 2 Chainz. So, we know a lot of different people.
Right.
So we can definitely put you in the right direction and get you in the right rooms to do a lot of different things. So,
And I
yeah.
think that's another good point that you've said, because while the music industry really relies on talent, it also is really, and I think it's actually even, this is probably the most important part, the connections. Like, you know what I
It's all
mean?
about
Like,
connections, bro.
I totally get the Instagram side where people follow somebody or, they follow back, they'll
Yeah.
comment on something here and there. But it really is like, you got to see people face to face. You got to like understand and pull back that veil of social media to see like, is this person really legit?
Yeah.
Because, anybody can make their social media look great.
Right.
But if you come in person, that don't match. It's like, well,
It's a whole different ballgame.
Right, you're
That's
playing
how
the
I
game here.
actually like really got out there. Like before TikTok blew up, like I was in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? I was in DJ space. Like I need my record player.
No,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
you
saying?
gotta
Like
be- yeah.
every other weekend, I asked my dad, like, Dad, can you watch my daughter tonight? I gotta go and make some moves. And I was a part of a different collective back then that we was just out all the time and just making shit happen. And we just put in the groundwork. Like it was tough to crack that door because, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and I didn't really even knock down the door until like 2016, where like 2016, 2017, I couldn't go into a spot and they play my record and I didn't even ask anymore. You know what I mean? So,
think about that. So you said you started the label or record company in 2007. So that's 10 years plus of just running out every single night trying to get your name out there.
man, it was crazy, bro, because it was a lot of groundwork. I mean, I was opening up for different acts at Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to do like when Hit Boy had his group called Audio Push, I opened up for them.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was. I mean, I was putting a lot of groundwork, bro. So, yeah, I was doing a lot of different things, and going to Berkeley too, and doing all those things. So, putting a lot of different groundwork. Like I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of stupid shit. I did, opportunities to get signed, I turned down. It was just a lot of different things that just happened. So now I'm just in a better space to like really do what I need to do.
Right. Well, I think as you've explained that, experience throughout your career, it kind of, not even kind of, it really shows how everything fell into place for you and everything that was supposed to happen happened. Right. So all the probably legends that you've opened up to, I know you mentioned Hit Boy, but and if you want to explain, the others you open up for, because imagine if you open for Hit Boy, I'd love to hear who else you've opened up for.
Yeah, shit, it was a couple. It was those Middle East days.
Downstairs?
No, I did. Audio Push was upstairs. They were upstairs at the time. I opened up. Well, I performed for Lil Uzi when he was downstairs. Before he really took off, he was downstairs.
Wow.
I just performed a song. Like the DJ was spinning that night, and he was playing a song that we did. I did the song with the DJ, and I was just on stage, and then he was like, and so I performed in front of his crowd. But this is right before he was like really
Was it
taking
before the
off.
XXL cipher?
Yes, I believe
wow.
so.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is like
this is
literally
this is
like
this is like people was like this is like SoundCloud like getting to know who Lil Uzi was.
Right.
I didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't
know him until the ciphers came out. To be honest with you,
I heard a couple of joints. I didn't even know it was him. And then he came out and killed his performance and stuff. And then after that, that's when I really got to knowing his music and stuff. But yeah, man, it was a crazy time. Yeah, mm-hmm.
I mean, because just seeing like obviously where Uzi is now, incredibly blown up.
Out of here. Yeah.
But you being yourself a veteran and like you have all these backstories and all these different people, because the Middle East, for my money, is probably the most legendary. I'll say underground venue that the city has, So for you to have all these experiences under your belt, it just goes to show how much of a proven veteran you are and how much you've toughened your craft over these last.
Long I've been doing it. Like it's funny because a lot of people think I just started, or like that I just came on the scene or whatever. I'm like, man, you have no idea what I've been doing and like going to New York and traveling back and forth to do different things. That's why a lot of artists need to take pride into like platforms like yours and other podcasts out here, because like a lot of different podcasts, they charge. You know what I'm saying? So like I mean I got played by one time.
Man.
I
apologize on behalf of whoever it was.
Yeah, man, it was.
We don't gotta say no names, but
I'll say the names. I don't care. This is 50 out in New York.
So it was out in New York. Okay.
Yeah, it was out in New York.
Yeah, see you later. Yeah, that ain't even Massachusetts.
It was out in New York. I paid like $500 to be on that platform. Did the interview, and then it was supposed to come out. I forget when it was supposed to drop. I mean, I kept hitting up the dude that was hosting. He was like, "It ain't on me. It's not on me. It was up to whoever was running the page or whatever." So 50, we gotta talk.
Yeah.
All right, 50, if you've seen this,
let's get some
we
chat
gotta talk. Cause I need the interview. You know what I'm saying? It was 2017, but I need the video.
Right.
But yeah, so shout out to platforms like yours and all the other guys that are doing the podcasting too. So yeah, for sure.
Well, and with podcasts like mine, Turntable Teachers, Boston Big Four, C-Dub, I'm just spitballing because there's a lot of them.
Yep.
This is how we make these stories go around. This is how we make sure these stories are not only heard, but they're archived for if you want to listen to it in the future. I tell that to my guests all the time. I'm like, whatever you're doing now, I want you to look back in like 3, 5, 10 years at this interview and be like, damn, like I was talking about this shit and now that shit's so even old to me now. It's like, so that's the pride I take in being a podcaster. I understand whatever the views want to say, whatever. It's like, I'm not worried about that no more. I maybe was at one point, but again, because it's just the illusion of the socials. It's like
you can get wrapped up in that stuff.
And if you
sunk you in,
you get lost in the sauce. That's exactly the type of thing. So for you to say that, I do appreciate it, my guy, and of course, thank you for coming on as well.
Yeah, of course.
But one thing we can relate to is, taking breaks from the craft. I understand right now, you haven't dropped some music in a while. You're kind of getting ready to go through that again. You can drop some more stuff.
Yep.
What are the biggest lessons you've learned in terms of taking a break from your craft and kind of taking a step back to maybe focus on other things?
Yeah. Honestly, I just learned a lot about the music business, like more and more. Like it's something to learn every day. And honestly, like it changes all the time. So and a lot of times you got to reinvent yourself. A lot of times you got to, a lot of times now people are putting out content every single day, all day. So like there's even that, that wasn't a thing a couple of years ago. Like people wasn't dropping off videos, content 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. So everything's different. So trying to, pre-plan certain things and realizing too, like I even tell my artist Tailored all the time, like, what works for me might not work for you. You know what I'm saying? So like me dropping a music video and it doing what it does, like you might do one and it might not hit. You know what I'm saying? So like really taking the time to really think about those things and like really taking the time to do music that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I was chasing another hit. I was chasing another Baddies or Fuck It Up and all these other records I was dropping that was hitting the waves and hitting the clubs and trying to chase that. Like I was trying to chase it. And I remember Papa Don has, I think I had, my manager has sent it to Papa Don one time, a record. And he was like, man, try to do better. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, he's
Wow.
right. I can. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably sensed that like I'm chasing that hit or whatever, and it was like the record was kind of easy for me to do, and it wasn't really like challenging myself. So, just taking a step back, doing the label stuff, figuring out what I want to do next, what kind of music I want to make next, and I'm excited for people to hear the new stuff that I got.
That's what's up. You know what I mean? Because as it's been known with this podcast, there was a long hiatus. There was even doubts that it wouldn't come back at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in two different lanes. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I thought about. I have some bars somewhere on SoundCloud. Everybody does. Everybody's got a 16. That's the golden rule. I don't know how Mike Scarfo doesn't have one. I kind of don't believe that. But if he says it's true,
he definitely got a 16 out there.
It's something. It's like
it might be in his phone.
Right. Exactly. He was probably
got
like just in his phone and his files. He definitely has got something.
He definitely for sure got
one. Because when I was actually in the process of coming back, I want to give a shout out to my guy SK. I did like a trial run to be on his platform, and he first thing, because that was my first time meeting him, he's like, "Are you an artist?" I'm like, "No." Like I don't get me wrong, the clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
I just like that fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm big on like just nice streetwear, designer streetwear. I love that shit. Like your glasses are fire, by the way.
Thanks,
I didn't even tell you right now.
No,
That shit's heat. But yeah, I don't rap. I don't want anybody to think I rap. So that's why I take podcasting as seriously as I can take it. Because
you should,
part of me is like, I don't think I ever could become an artist because you have to have that hardened like skill. You know what I mean? I was never really good at putting words together or putting like kind of a story into pieces. Like for just like an album, it's all like one thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that storytelling aspect. So in that sense, respectfully, to myself, I just didn't have that.
Couldn't do it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was just something that was like funny.
It's not for everybody. I think even some people who freestyle don't end up turning into good artists. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. I'm sure they can do it. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't always resonate the same way. So it's not for everybody. And I think that's the problem too, where it's so much music. It's not for everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the other thing. It's like even
anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. Like this is a real thing. So.
And I feel like throughout that kind of, from I'll say from 2015 till now, so we'll give ourselves 10 years.
Yeah.
People saw the SoundCloud and oh, if they're doing it, well, I can do it. You know what I mean?
SoundCloud was an era, man. And
that
my shit was booming on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But it took a long time. I mean, I had a record that I was like, I want to quit. I had a record out and I think it only did 200 views or 200 plays. Yeah. 300 plays. I was like, I'm trash. Right. This sucks. Nobody's listening to this shit. Yeah. And then I kind of just fed onto that and I was like, I'm going to do this one record. I'm going to put this out and see what happens. And that shit just went crazy. I wasn't even expecting it for it to go crazy too. But it ended up doing what it did.
But that's my thing with the people who think that, anybody can do it. Your first song isn't going to be that popping. Our first episode did not pop at all.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is it's okay, let's say your second and third song pop. It's how do you handle that consistency?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got no idea how to.
Well, that's the problem. When you see it on social media, you see somebody pop off on their first song, you're like, oh, I can do that, which is, it is doable. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. But like you say, you got to keep that shit up. And some people can't keep that shit up.
There are so many one-hit wonders now, it's not even funny. Yeah. I see a lot of because I just go through my real phase. I see a lot of lists of rappers who fell off, and I'm like, I get reminded of them. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh
that's
shit.
Right. It's
that was a hit.
Right, exactly.
That was a hit.
For example, Block Boy JB. When he did his song with Drake, absolute hit. I loved it. He did another song with 21 Savage. I loved too.
What was his hit? What was that shit called?
Look Alive, Look Alive. Yeah, they from the other side.
Okay.
That was the Drake hit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 2 Milli. That's what I was thinking about because it was a one hit. Because I actually opened up for him too. No, he performed at I forget what club, and I performed there too. But I thought that was two different people. But yeah, Block Boy, that's crazy. I forgot about him too.
That's what I mean with people. It's bro, he had a Drake feature. You know what I'm saying? For a guy who did nothing unheard of, you just get a Drake feature. That
song was hard too.
Exactly. That song bang. 2018. That was one of the years that Drake actually owned.
Yeah.
But to get back to my point, it's okay, he had a Drake feature. No, he's nothing. You know what I'm saying? All these SoundCloud rappers. Actually, I was looking at the 2018 XXL freshman class the other day because I was just curious about like where people are right now. I think one of them's actually still actively doing anything, and it's Ski Mask. Everyone else
don't even hear about them.
No one even wants to go to their shows. Nothing. It's just like it's cooked.
Yeah.
So that's what people got to realize. Like, yo, like you can have all this stuff on your plate.
You can have
but
all that. You can have.
You
want to
be lazy. You know, it's all that shit, right?
Yeah, man. It's a whole bunch of different things. Like I see a lot of people who have like a lot of plays, or they either have a lot of plays or they have like a lot of followers. But it doesn't resonate to a lot of different things. Like you have a lot of followers or you have a lot of listeners, so why are you not selling out your shows?
Biggest example of that, and actually to go back to that freshman class I was talking about, Smoke Perp. He had like,
I forgot about Smoke Perp.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Almost like 5 million, Instagram follows.
Yeah.
And there was a story that came out about, I think, 2 years ago now. It's crazy because we're in 2025. He did a show downstairs, Middle East.
Yeah.
Nobody. He basically filled out that like whole front row, like maybe like 19 people.
Which most people do.
Right, exactly. With like 19 people. And I'm like, bro, like you were like legitimately like popping in 2018. Because I was on that wave of like, oh yeah, these guys are like goofy, but it's funny.
Yeah,
like,
but it's funny.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Like him and Lil Pump. Lil Pump's another guy. Like 10 million followers or some shit like that. Like, exactly. Like it's crazy. It is crazy. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. But see, that's why people got to realize, like, yo, these guys had that year by the balls.
Because now it's not even about the talent anymore. The talent's gone. It's out the window.
That's it.
It's out the window. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm one of the most talented and just...
Not to cut you off, I think it's because people saw that anybody could do it thing, and they just, like, pushed that. They didn't give a shit who was rapping anything. They just pushed it, and they're like, all right, this guy's saying Gucci Gang 5-10 different times in the lyrics.
You can get a YouTube beat, get a mic, interface.
That's it.
That's all you need. In a computer.
They made it seem so simple.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's the thing. That's the other problem is, like you just said, they made it seem too simple, and it's not that simple.
More power to them, man. I don't know.
Right, exactly. I don't know how they do it, but they did do it.
Yeah.
But to go back, you're going to be dropping some stuff this year. One of the things that I have learned going through your music, you're very fine-tuned in both the areas of hip-hop and R&B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're kind of a double-edged sword like that. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Do-It-All kind of type thing.
Triple threat.
So how have you kind of perfected both lanes of those music in that sense?
Practice.
Talk about practice?
Talking about practice? I mean, like, not every song I got is hot. Not every song when I go in the studio, sometimes I record a song and be like, damn, that came out fire in my head.
Yeah.
But when I just laid it down, that shit is trash. I was just going through a whole bunch of files yesterday, and I was sending it to Taylor about these old songs that didn't make my Tri-Season album. It was just a shit ton of songs, and like finished songs too. It wasn't even like half shit. And I was like, damn, this is all right. And he was telling me like, yo, you should re-release this, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, just like I've been doing it for so long, bro. You know what I mean? So like my first studio record was 2007. I think I went to some studio at some spot, and I think one of my first line was like, I'm like the Celtics, we 6-0, because this was like the year that they won. This is when we won. We was killing everybody. So and yeah, I just kept on going. My first project was called Songs for Her. It was an R&B project, but I also had a little bit of rapping on there. And I had this song called Can I Have You? And I had sent it to, her name's Tina Davis. She actually works at Empire now. Oh, she was, I think she's like the president now. She was Chris Brown's manager at the time. Shit. So I sent it to her. I was like, what you think about it? And she was like, I forget what she said, but she was like, it was hot, but there was some lines that were corny. And man, did I need her to tell me that, because I was rapping on there, and she was just like, the lines were kind of corny, and I took that personal. And my next project, I rapped the whole thing. I might have like sung 1 or 2 songs, but I was like, I got to get better lyrically, and it just made me a better artist. Like hearing like somebody on that level say that. But it gave me confidence too, because she liked it, but she was just like, there was certain parts that was just like, just corny.
Of course.
So over time, I just kept on going and kept on getting better. And like I said, not every record that I've done is hard. I was a part of a record label before. Won't say no names.
Yeah.
But I was a part, and then I have a video that I dropped 2014 that I ended up taking down. It was a record called Saturday. It was supposed to be the first single to the TRIY season album, because I had TRIY season for years. Like that was supposed to be like my debut thing. This is like 2014.
Yeah.
I had this whole idea of it because, you know, I have MS and like all these things were happening. So it was unexpected journeys, all these things. So he sent it to some people in New York, and it was like, this is trash. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I want to put it out. He was like, nah. I was like, what? I'm actually going to put it out just so people could see it. But it was just different things that motivated me to like just really, really hone into my craft and really just get better and just have that confidence. Like, no, I'm nice at this shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could really do this. I could really rap. I could really sing. I've always wanted to be a better singer. I don't claim to be like the best singer. I don't think I'm even the best rapper. But I just know how to make good music and put shit together. So.
Well, I think it's cool how you said, you know, you went from rap, R&B to rap to get better lyrically. So it's kind of using one genre to get better at the other. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people do not do that. They just stick to one lane, and the way they get better is how they get better. But it was kind of refreshing to hear that you actually utilized one genre of this music to get better at another one. Yeah. Because I feel like that's an unconventional way to look at it. Mm-hmm. Because I always wanted
to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And my dad was a big hip hop fan, so I always wanted to be a rapper. And I started rapping at first, but I fell in love with melodies. So that's where that came about. And at the time I started working on my first project, Kanye dropped 808s and Heartbreaks.
Oh, wow. So we're going back again. I was
just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And blew my mind. And I was like, oh, hell no. I gotta tap into this shit.
Stop the presses.
Yeah, stop all shit, this fucking rapping shit. I don't need this. Like, this shit right here is crazy. Right. So if you ever heard like songs for her, like there's a lot of like Kanye shit in there. Like I produced majority of the whole thing. And I was just like, I was blown away by that shit. So, but yeah, to answer your question, like I just, you know, eventually just started getting really good at it and just kept on going. And yeah, I feel like I'm at the top of it right now.
Well, I think with R&B, specifically that genre, just because I had Samba on recently, he talked about, you know, it being the human experience. Yeah. That's how you have to channel your personal, like, almost emotions and like stories into that, because you can't really, you can maybe fake rap. You know what I mean? You can't really fake a genre that has to have a lot of like emotion and storytelling in that. So it's good that, like I said, that you took one aspect of a genre and put it into the other, while also utilizing your own personal experiences to make your own music. Yeah. Because like I said, I do hear a lot of like faking it, but with something so emotional, it kind of has to come from here. And it really is hard to fake, you know? You can't really just think of these sad sob stories off the top of your head like that.
Nah, and I think that's why, to begin with, that's where Drake got his crowd, being so vulnerable in his music and being like all those singing stuff. So, yeah, you have to go through some real shit. You got to like really put the shit together. And so I think that's like this project that I have coming out now is one of those.
Or we're going to get to that later.
All right,
cool, I got you. No, we definitely are. Trust me. Yeah.
Cool.
But, you know, you mentioned that, you know, music your whole life, you know what I'm saying, since the 4 years old. So if you had to go back in time and tell your younger self about the journey you're about to go on and all the experiences, what's the one lesson you tell yourself?
What's the one lesson I would tell myself? Stay in college.
Because you're at Berkeley, right?
Yeah, not just stay in college, but like really, because I could be very introverted and I could be very to myself. And so in college, like I met a lot of people, but I didn't network enough in college. That's one thing that I wish I did, because it could have took me different places. So I think that's one thing I would have told myself, like, yo, if you're going to go to this school, if you're not going to stay, network before you go. I networked, but I didn't do enough. I stayed to the core people that I knew, and then kind of venture out. And now the people that I met or seen, they're off just fucking out of here. There's another girl that was part of Kanye's choir, the choir that he had.
Sunday service.
Sunday service. I know a girl that was playing the drums for Beyonce, doing the marching. It's just so many little things, but I still keep in contact with a couple people, but I just wish I networked a little bit more. Yeah,
definitely. Because that's something I definitely could get good at as well. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, you can have all the talent in the world, this, that, and the other thing. You show it off. It's really about shaking hands and meeting people face to face.
And networking.
As
and really doing things.
Shitty as that kind of sounds to the introverted self.
Yeah,
it's like you got no other choice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no other choice, man. And like I found myself in rooms with people and just been like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Trust me, me too. I'm like,
I'm
saying
like,
right next to him, like,
I don't want to seem thirsty going up to you. Just
I want to be like,
how you doing?
Yeah,
like,
hi, how you doing? You know,
I'm like,
my podcast. I just run off everything I do, like right there. And he's like,
I do music. It's like, okay, all right, yeah. So that's one of the things.
That is funny though. But as you mentioned, you are a father, and I always ask my rap dads, /music dads, creative dads this, or mothers. Of course, I don't think I've had mothers on yet, but I will eventually.
Yeah.
What is the one piece of legacy you want to leave behind for your child? Like maybe the one lesson or the one story, so that if his or her they get into this, they know already kind of what to do because their dad did it. And they have that backup behind them to pursue this.
Yeah, I think for me, like just leaving them a legacy to look back on. That's one of my biggest things for them. Creating generational wealth, of course. But as far as like, the funny thing is that they're already musically inclined, which is kind of crazy.
What's up?
My son had already did drum lessons. I brought my daughter a drum set, and this is like stuff that they are into without me influencing them. They just my son just picked up a drum, just picked up sticks and just started having rhythm at 2 years old, which is blew my mind. Like I want to post.
That must have been very humbling.
Man, I'm gonna post some stuff on TikTok because I want the world to see, because it was just like how, and like him watching YouTube videos and imitating what they're doing on YouTube. It's just a crazy thing to see. And then my daughter was the same way. But my son just like, it was just natural. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely genetics, which I didn't think was a real thing until I had kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I love being a dad. And seeing them grow up is a beautiful thing. But I think that's one thing that I would love for them to see. Like I brought my son one time to a radio interview before, and like just kind of like bringing them with me to certain things, just so they could see what else that I do. So
because when they're of age, they're gonna look back on this stuff and be like, wow, I was around all this stuff when I was that little, because I don't know how much you remember at 2, 4, up until like you're 10 pretty much, you know what I mean?
Not much.
So to have that documentary is going to be fucking awesome, because when he sees that and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, it makes sense why I'm in the music right now, because Pops was and now I am. So
which is fine that I have like video of my dad when I was a kid and doing music in his studio, at 6, 7 years old, making beats and shit like that. And like, so that's just where it stems from. And
it's definitely genetics.
It's definitely genetics, bro.
The tri-family tree is all musicians.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. So yeah, it's a dope thing. So if they ever want to do this, like I would hope that I'll be in a position to kind of help them and
of course, steer
them the right way.
That's what's up. So also another piece of information, in doing my research on you, I understand you were in a movie when you were younger.
Yeah.
So can you tell us anything about that? Because me personally, I'm a huge movie buff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm texting him about all these types of movies online. I'm posting on my Twitter and shit. I love movies. So I got to know, firstly, about the movie you were in, and then secondly, what your favorite movie is all time.
Okay. I don't think I've ever shared this story either. Like I shared a piece of it, but yeah, so I've always wanted to be an actor. Like that was my goal.
Which I can tell through your music videos. You're very comfortable in front of a camera.
Yeah. It's funny how like I'm two completely different things. Because in person I'm like, hey, how you doing? But yeah. So I always wanted to be an actor. Like I was in love with all that, and I remember they had like a casting call, and I begged my mom to go.
That's 90s shit right there. I love that.
Yeah, so we was we actually went to Universal Studios in 98 and 99. So this is like the core time. So I was actually in a show. I was on Double Dare.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
can't find the episode, man.
No.
So if anybody sees the episode, please find it.
Listen, that's my beef with streaming services. They be holding these old shows on chokehold. You can't find them for anywhere.
I just have 2 pictures of when I was there, and it was like there's a big old thing with big giant cookies, and I had to like pick up the cookies and run to the other side and do all this extra whatever. So yeah, that was that. So I always want to be, you know, an actor in that world. But I'm showing my age again. I think 2008, 2009, 2008, yeah, somewhere around that. So my band teacher had came across an article in the paper. shows how old I am. In the paper, and was looking for a drummer for a new movie, and you know, my school kind of treated me like I was like the next coming, like, oh, he's gonna be a star, or like get him out of here, push him out of here. So long story short, I ended up playing the drums for the woman that was making the movie, and she, you know, brought me in, and I got casted into the movie. It was the movie was called Dakota. The movie was supposed to be a version of High School Musical.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like a different High School Musical, but surrounded by like a band. It was supposed to be like a diverse band. So we had a Latino bass player, we had a black drummer, the white singers and stuff like that. And she had this screenplay, and she was going to direct it and do all these things. And while we were waiting, we was trying to get Paramount to pick it up, which is, you know, who does Nickelodeon and stuff like that. So she needed some bread to put up for the movie, and was having a hard time getting the funding behind it. So in the meantime, we were like doing different things. So we actually went and performed for America's Got Talent.
Oh shit!
So we went and tried out for America's Got Talent. And if anybody's ever done America's Got Talent or any of those shows, before you even get to the TV, there's like 5 auditions before that.
Yeah.
And so
it may seem like they just pick anybody with talent, but no,
it looks like
legit.
they just go there,
like American Idol, all that shit.
It's like 5 fucking things, man. So
because they got to remember this shit is scripted too. You know what I mean?
So we went there, and we was killing all the auditions. We was killing all of it to make. I think we went to like right before we was gonna go on TV. It was like right there. And they asked us to play the song. We did the song that was a part of the movie. And then they were like, do you know any other songs? It was like, yeah. And they said, one of the songs, they was like, okay, play this song, which we had already been practicing to do. But one of the band members, we used to say fucking Brian, because he fucked it all up. So he was like, fucking Brian. And so Brian didn't know the song, and he didn't know the words.
Oh, shit.
Fucking Brian.
Fucking Brian. Hashtag fucking Brian.
We're playing the song, and I have the mic as I'm playing the song, and I'm singing the song and shit. And Brian's fucking up all the words.
Oh.
And I'm like, damn.
And he's singing too?
He's singing too. So he was one of the lead singers in the front. I was just singing like background type of shit, just playing drums. And I thought that would have made good TV. To like put us on and have us fuck up in front of the world.
Right.
But they didn't see like that was okay. And they was like, nah, next.
You should have rushed the mic and just took it from him.
Oh my god!
Quick.
The whole ride back, because this was like in New York. We was like in like Times Square, whatever the fuck it was at. And we were staying at the director's house. He had a big house in like upstate New York. And on the drive back, it was like fucking Brian, man. It was just like
looking out the window, just
it was like fuck, man. It was like,
and he's the one going. So it's like, oh, I thought that all went well. Or some shit like that. Oh my god. Because we figured like if we made it on the TV show, they would have seen us, and that would have gave us like the funding for the movie or whatever. Absolutely.
So obviously it didn't get picked up. We were gonna shoot it just ourselves. It never happened. And then we just ended up getting older, and we was getting too old for the parts. So I think one of the people they act now in California now, but yeah, I got casted. We didn't end up getting to shoot the movie. But I was casted into the feature film, but it never got picked up.
That is what's up, though. So, do you have a favorite movie at all?
I feel like I was just asked this question. A favorite movie?
I kind of combined both last questions. So just
you good. You good. Yeah. Favorite movie? I'm just a big Star Wars fan, so it has to be Star Wars.
Absolutely. Listen, that's the first movie my dad got me into. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, my dad too. Right. He was big fans. He took us to go see the movie. What was the Phantom Menace, the first one, and that was like a big phenomenon because it came out in '99. I was 8 years old. Yeah. I remember waiting in the line with everybody. I mean, the lines were fucking
Because that was the first movie back for Star Wars in like
since
20
the
years.
Yeah, since like the 80s or some shit.
Yeah.
So I think the last one was like 83 or something like that. And then yeah, something crazy. So yeah, I was a big Star Wars buff.
Yep. I love that. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you show. You know, that's a '90s kid right there. You know what I'm saying?
True
You've
90s
seen
kid,
it all.
man. True
and
90s kid.
One thing that Noble actually had said, shout out our guy Noble, when he was on here last year, promoting his 10-year anniversary of the Museum TV at the time, which again, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
He had talked about, being a 90s kid, you kind of got a rush of creativity with all like the different colorful shows, the movies, the music, the clothes. Like, that's why I'm kind of really not surprised that a lot of, people grew up in the 90s are creative as they are right now. Yeah. Because they're just pulling inspiration and like from the lessons of what they got from. Yeah. And that's why I feel like we're kind of losing recipes with this generation where it's so accessible right now because, we can't to go and watch Pokemon on my phone is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, as a kid, I couldn't even imagine what it would have been. But like, because when we were in front of a TV, playing games and stuff like that, that was like important time for us. That was luxury. You know what I mean? That was like whether we were watching our favorite movies or our favorite shows. That like it felt like it meant something more than it does now because of how quick and accessible it is.
Yeah, so much so, and especially even like Saturday morning cartoons, like they don't even have that anymore. Absolutely so like that was a luxury to watch cartoons in the morning on a completely different channel than what you say like Nickelodeon and even Nickelodeon at times I believe like at night would turn into something completely different. Yeah, we have Nick at Night, and you have like Happy Days and shit,
Full
and like
House and all that shit.
All this other shit to be playing on. So like
that's when I tune out. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like now it's like a whole it's cartoons all day. Yeah. So yeah, different times. But yeah, I pray for this generation of people because it's definitely they're either gonna be out of this world creative or like just have no motivation at all. So I don't think it's gonna be no middle. So we'll see what happens, man.
So. Let's get to brass tacks. What is on the docket for TRIY in 2025? What do we got?
I don't want to say too much, but we got an album coming out.
We do got an album coming out.
Yeah, we got an album coming out.
Can you tell me how many tracks, or is that not set in stone right now?
I can't even tell you how many tracks because I don't even know how many tracks. Cool. I was just listening to it yesterday. I was like, it can use like 2 more.
Okay.
It can, so
see, I feel like you're very resourceful in that sense. You always know like. Yeah. If something's got to be tweaked or so you got to add to something or take something back,
I just do it too much.
You recognize
it.
I
do it too much. Like I'm a big overthinker at times, but I'm also a perfectionist. So like I can hear one little thing and be like, no, that has to be pitched down. This is too loud. That needs to be turned down. The beat's too high. Like I'm just so technical on certain things. I'm like, my voice is too deep on that part. Let me raise it. Like. I'm too musically inclined sometimes to like I over
kind of a gift and a curse a little bit.
Like I over musically like I overdo it. I'm like, oh, this needs 3 harmonies on. It's like, no, keep it a little simple on that record. Like it don't need all that. So yeah, the project's super dope. I'm proud of what it's coming to be. Definitely got visuals coming. Gonna put together some TRIY Record shows.
Okay, love that. You know
we're gonna put together some things. We was doing a segment. We was doing the R&B nights. We was doing that into 2023 into 2024. We stopped because, again, I'm a perfectionist, and I hear things a certain way, and if they don't sound that way, I'm not doing it.
Right.
So if the venue doesn't hold the what I need as like sound,
that's the worst.
Because I love live. I don't care too much for just a DJ playing. Like I'm a drummer at the end of the day, so like I'm a musician at heart. So I take a lot of pride in like live music, and not so much just playing over the track all the time and shit like that. Like I take a lot of pride in that artistry side. So we were gonna do more, but like I said, like if the venue isn't adding up and the sound isn't sounding how I want it to sound, I don't want to just do a show just to do a show. You know what I'm saying?
And I've seen that happen plenty of time with various different shows that I've been through because I was actually thinking to myself the other day, I haven't been to like, an industry concert in a while. I go to all local stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of hold it to that higher standard where, like these people are here because like they know you, you know what I'm saying? They want it to be a nice night. I remember think it was 2022. I went to a show at Sammy's Patio in Revere. Sound sucked, and I felt so bad because I actually liked the artists that were performing. But
I had a show at Sammy's Patio years ago.
Yo,
like,
it's not good. Absolutely not.
Like,
That's it. It's
like,
garbage.
Oh God.
I was on the panel for the testing lab.
Yeah.
And the artists who were on, actually shout out PH and Battles because that's who it was.
Mm-hmm.
I told them, I'm like, yo, y'all sound so much better than y'all did a couple days ago.
Crazy.
And I told them, like, I actually feel bad for y'all because they shafted you.
Because it was probably the sound that was just
shafted you. I'm like,
that's why I don't just take any shows anymore. People ask me to do certain things in certain shows. I'm like, first of all, I made it far enough in my career that I need a check. Right? I need some bread.
100%. That comes first.
I need bread. And then second, like, I'm not going to just perform anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you've done the Middle East a lot. You know what
I
I'm saying?
did the Middle East. I did Church Boston when that was a thing. Actually, Church Boston was fire when it was around. I did everywhere. Like, I mean, shit, I used to perform anywhere. I used to perform at the YWCA when it was just dancers. You know what I'm saying? When it was a dance event.
Right.
So I would perform, with my guys, and they wouldn't even give a fuck about us. They was ready for the dancers to come out because that's when So You Think You Could Dance was a big thing. I'm sorry, not American Best Dance Crew. Sorry, not So You Think You Could Dance. That was a big thing. So I was performing everywhere, and I feel like I paid my dues to be able to perform where I choose to perform, and that's why now I just throw my own shows because I'm like, I'd rather just get paid on my own, and it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy to get people to come out. Even I still struggle at times, so I'm like, when I be seeing people have all these thousands of followers and saying like, oh, my views or my plays are like 150,000, blah, blah, blah. It's like, can you sell at a show though?
That's the biggest thing.
Because that's tough.
That is the biggest thing. Not even just
sell it out.
Can you get people to come?
Can you get people to come?
Right.
And that's tough for anybody. And that's, if you ever see like even some of the top people, even if you want to just say city-wise, they struggle. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause this is not an easy thing. So, yeah, man, I just, we got a lot of certain things coming up. We got Taylor dropping. Bia Javier got some new shit dropping. I'm excited for her to finally drop some shit. And then I got some stuff dropping. I might drop 2 projects this year. I might
fuck around and drop 2, might
not.
Might
fuck around and do that just because I just want to and I feel like, and I just got so much music that I've been working on that I'm like, I can't let this just sit. Me and Taylor has talked about dropping some stuff too because we got a lot of chemistry in terms of like making some dope shit happen. So, and we got other things that we're working on too in the work. So, but I'll wait to speak on those things. But yeah, got the new project coming out, and yeah, I'm excited for people to hear that. Don't know how many tracks, but the album's called Who Played Who.
Okay.
And it's gonna be self-explanatory once some things come out and drop.
Yeah. You'll know when you know, right?
You'll know when you know.
But to tell you, like always, with any artist who comes on the show, your music will be added to our official Apple Music playlist.
Oh, fire.
So you can find, I do 5 songs each per person, so you can find at least 5 songs of yourself on there.
Dope.
But I actually do want to know this. Yeah. So since you said, you performed at all these places, is there a specific place you really want to perform at, or are you just
LA.
good? LA. Okay. I was gonna think around it.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
But LA's definitely somewhere I want to perform at. I almost performed in New York. Didn't work.
Damn, why does New York hate you? I feel like
I don't know. It's like damn.
There's some hidden animosity towards you.
Yeah, I'm like damn. Come on, man. But LA is definitely a place. I'm working on some things right now for this project. So hopefully that comes through. But yeah, definitely just want to be able to like do different things, different places. So I didn't get to do a lot of those things like I wanted to years ago, like the A3Cs and the South by Southwest and stuff like that. So I had opportunities to do South by Southwest a couple years ago, and I didn't end up going. I think I didn't. Something happened. Yeah. But yeah, those are the dope places that I want to go to. But I'm working on some dope things now that hopefully they come through.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up. So before we get out of here, I'll always give the guests an opportunity to shout out anybody they'd like to shout out. Yeah. And as always, where they can find my good people who watch Say That, of course, can find you on all your socials or music and everything like that.
Yeah, you can find me on itchtry.com.
You got a whole website. Okay,
yeah, I got
there
a
we
website.
go.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so you can find me on there, or go to my Instagram. It's TRIY, or check out my label page, Try Records. Shout out to the whole team on Try Records: Official, Taylor, Reina, Bia Javier, and my DJ Drunky. Yeah, and that's about all, man. Get ready for 2025. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy year. I promise you. I got some shit. First single dropping. I don't know when we're gonna drop this podcast, but February, my birthday.
Okay, yeah, no, it'll be out before then.
All right, bet. Yeah. So
we're
we're gonna on the 21st. So new single coming out. Might have a visual, might not. Who knows? But yeah, tap in.
There we go. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Try. And as always, if you loved this episode, which I'm sure you did, please leave a like and a comment under which part of the episode you'd like specifically. And as always, you know, you could help me is hit that subscribe button on the YouTube page. It really helps grow the channel. For my socials, like I said at the start of the episode, you can find me on my personal Instagram, REPETE617. And the Say That's official Instagram is say_that_pod. As I mentioned previously, Try's music will be added to our official Apple Music playlist.
Let's go.
So every artist that has been on the show, including himself and those in the past, their music is on there. It's only on Apple Music because I do not have Spotify and I'm not paying for both. So please go listen if you can right there. But as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And you know what I'm going to be yelling? Don't say this. Say that.
All right.
And I will see you in the next episode. Peace.